I've been taking 4 years straight Finasteride to combat hair loss. This was me before and 2 years after the treatment. You may think a pretty impressive success story. However, last summer I was experiencing a new massive shedding, especially around the temples. It was time to step up the game, so I added 3 more treatments, which were Minoxidil in topical form, Derma Pen, and Microneedling shampoo. I will go week by week over the results of these treatments and give you my honest opinion about them. Alright, so first I will briefly break down when and how I used these treatments. This is the way that best worked for me. What I did was the following. Every night I applied 1 milliliter of Minoxidil to my hairline. And I only did it to the area that was thinning. I never applied it to the rest of the scalp because once you expose the rest of the hair to Minoxidil, it will be forever dependent. If for some reason you discontinue using Minoxidil, you will lose all the hair that you regrew using Minoxidil before. So I saw no reason of applying it to the rest of my scalp where the hair was okay so far. Also, I applied Minoxidil once a day at night for a reason. Even though the companies will tell you that you should apply Minoxidil twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, that's not strictly necessary. The product has a half-life of 23 hours, so even though you apply it just once a day, it will make no difference. I first started applying it in the morning, right after showering, but then I noticed that was pretty much inconvenient for me. Why? Because sometimes you just won't have the time to let it dry, or it will be difficult to fix your hair after that. Instead, I found out that it is much more convenient to apply it right before going to bed. I personally do it around 8 o'clock in the evening, but that's just my personal preference. I'm sure every one of you has their own routines. Alright, let's talk about the second treatment. Once a week I will also microneedle the hairline with a needle depth of 1.5 millimeters. Before I used to apply the Minoxidil 24 hours after microneedling, but now I just do it right after. I have not experienced any side effects such as headaches, heart palpitations, etc. etc. I have, however, noticed a side effect with the Derma Pen, which is simply flaky skin. This is pretty annoying, but I also feel it was worse in the first weeks of doing it. Now I feel the skin is much more resistant to it than before, and it doesn't flake so much as it used to do. This is, however, not a deal breaker for me because the skin just gets normal again after a few days. The reason I use a Derma Pen is because, well, first of all, you get much better precision when microneedling, but second, and this is also a very important point, is that you can exchange the derma stamps, and if you do that, you will have much less risk of getting an infection using microneedling. Let us talk now about the third treatment, which is simply the Ketoconazole Shampoo. I use the Ketoconazole Shampoo once a week. I could actually use it more often, but I find it is not strictly necessary. To be honest, I think the Ketoconazole Shampoo helped, but it was not a deal breaker when it comes to regrowing new hair. It will help to regrow your hair a tiny bit, but not as much as Finasteride or Minoxidil. Where it helped, however, and it is still helping, is when it comes to the common itching of the scalp for those people that are experiencing a shedding or balding. In my opinion, the shampoo helped there a lot because it has some anti-inflammatory properties. But like I said, I would not use it actually more than once a week because it is pretty expensive. This bottle, for example, costs $30 US. I would use it as a nice addition to getting that extra kick when it comes to regrowing your hair and also having an ease of mind. Okay, let's cut to the chase and see the results. So this picture is 1 day before starting the treatment. Huge loss of density and hair in the temple area. In the first 2 weeks, I would say that nothing happened. There was no shedding yet. The 4th week, however, there was a big shed. It may or may not be so noticeable in the picture, but besides that, I was finding so many hairs like in the shower, in my bed, and especially in the sink. Terrible, because that's a moment where you don't know if the treatment is working, so you're shedding before the regrowth, or you're actually just shedding because I don't know, you are still balding. Surely after 3 more weeks, more or less, the shedding stopped and regrowth started. Not just the hair that I just shed, but also new hair that I had lost like 4 or 5 years ago. Hopefully you can appreciate it in this picture. I mean, all that hair was not there before, guys, and it's just a wonderful feeling to see that, and I think it does not stop there. Here's, by the way, a before and after picture that clarifies even more what a big change just happened in 2.5 months. I will continue posting my regrowth in this channel. And guys, just don't lose faith. Just hang in there. Also, click on the video above if you want to see my first video I did about my regrowth journey. There I explain much more in detail the crazy story about my before and after treatment with Finasteride. Until next time, I wish you a happy hair journey. Adios.